Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's I'm going to be reviewing the Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. This is a great hybrid for under $35,000. Before we get into this video, as always, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And this is a vehicle that I've been living with for the last week. So I'm going to give you guys my impressions on what it's like to live with and let you know if it's actually worth buying. Let's get into it. Now, powering this is a 2-liter hybrid 4-cylinder that puts out 196 horsepower. Fuel economy is 45 around town, 38 on the highway, which makes this pretty darn efficient. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, taking a look at the hood, the design's not too crazy. You do have some sharp lines there on either side. And then I think the headlight design here is really cool looking on the Corolla Cross. And this red paint, by the way, pops quite a bit. Notice the grille is darker in coloration, and that's kind of the theme, right? The bright red and then the darker elements. Tire wheel setup is 225 by 55 by 18. Wheels are all blacked out. You've got these kind of like chunky, rugged looking fender flares. Got more bodywork down the side, blacked out mirror cap. You can see that the roof has been blacked out as well. And there's the side profile. This leads us to the key fob where we have our lock and unlock function. We got the Toyota logo there, front and center. Nothing too crazy with the fob itself. Now the hatch with this package is going to be manual, but it does have hydraulic assist. And then you guys can see here with the cargo cover built in from the factory. And there's a decent amount of storage space overall. Again, this is a Corolla Cross. It's Toyota's smaller crossover. And then it's manual for the pop-down function. You can see the taillight design here, and then the badges are all blacked out here, which gives it a sportier look. There's the rear. Now, popping inside, we've got this nice kind of like soft touch trim right there. And then these seats are pretty cool looking. The red is carried inside. Now, again, this isn't a massive car. It's a little crossover, but still good space back here. We got some vents here in the rear, and then this does come down a bit, but overhead room's pretty good. Now this leads us up front where, again, you've got the soft touch down below. We've got all of our window controls here, the mirror adjustment, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors, and then you can see here at the seat, nice trim. All of your manual adjustments. Steering wheel is manually adjustable too, and then this does look like it has like fancy stitching, but it is just hard touch up top. So here's a quick look at the steering wheel. You've got soft touch all around, more red stitching. Practical controls here on the front, including your volume and voice command controls, controls for the center. We've got our adaptive cruise control with your steering assist, pedal shifters there in the back, and then regular stocks. Now with the gauge cluster, mostly analog, which I really dig. Too many cars are going full on and digital, but gives you basic information here in the center depending on what you want to show, so it's still very customizable. Regular backup camera in reverse, nothing too fancy. And then you have Toyota's newer infotainment system, so it's got the shortcut bar here on the side. It does take a second for some of the tabs to load up, but overall pretty quick with the response. And you got your little volume control too. Single zone climate with this, and it does have an eco heat and cool mode to save. And then you can see you've got nice trim across the dash, got that cool design with the vent, little USB port here, a phone charging pad. You've got an EV mode and then your regular drive mode select. There's basically just a normal sport and eco mode. You can switch between. Shifter for the ECVT. Parking brake with your auto hold, some cup holders, nice cloth trim, good storage inside. And other than that, oh, there is a sunroof. Almost forgot about that. So here's our window sticker. You can see the total price, $34,705, so just under 35 grand. Not a lot of options to add to this, and this one's just a nightshade package, which I think is really cool looking, but let's see how it performs. Corolla Cross Hybrid. This is one of the most affordable ways that you can get a hybrid all-wheel drive vehicle is by going for a Corolla Cross. Most of the hybrids, right, come from Toyota. It's like there's not a lot of options. I mean, you've got the Prius you can get with all-wheel, and we'll just focus on all-wheel drive hybrids because that's something that's really cool about this. Yeah, you got the Prius, right? Camry's more expensive. But if we look at other automakers, I mean, other automakers are starting to come out with stuff, but the one difference is a lot of them just don't offer all-wheel drive. Like you look at a Elantra hybrid, you look at a Sonata hybrid, neither of those are all-wheel drive as of right now. So yeah, it definitely puts Toyota in a unique place, if you ask me. So when it comes to the actual drive of the Corolla Cross, this car drives really well. It's comfortable. It's got comfortable seats, suspension, like it's just a great daily driver. It doesn't do anything weird at all, which I think is a big positive. And then when it comes to the fuel economy, I mean, it just depends. I've been doing a lot of highway driving, so I haven't been able to get as good as I could. This is really a around town car. It can do the highway stuff, obviously. Still get good fuel economy doing it, but it's really gonna shine around town. And you notice that around town, it's constantly shutting off the engine. It's constantly getting access to regen, right? There's just a lot of benefits to around town with this. Now, some other stuff with the Corolla Cross in terms of living with it. It's really small, so it's easy to park. And it's got enough space though inside. Like, this is a very practical car. That's one thing I do like about the Corolla Cross compared to like a Prius or an Elantra, and even the, you know, the Camry and stuff. The one thing that I like about this is it's just with the SUV styling and everything, and just, well, being a little SUV, it just feels more spacious in here in general. So I think that's a big positive as well. And so, should you buy one of these, right? Is this, or what type of person would want to buy one of these? I would say that if you either, there's a couple use cases for this. So I could see if you live out in a rural place like this, this is actually a really good car, because when you go into town, you don't use up that much gas. You can go a decent distance on a tank as well. It's close to 400 miles of range on a tank, not quite, but close to it. And yeah, not use up as much gas. Also, if you live in a big city, this is a great car. It's obviously not going to be technically as efficient as an electric car, but it's efficient enough that you wouldn't have to fill up, because when you live in a big city, you're just not going as far distance wise, so you wouldn't have to fill up all that often. And again, it gets over 40 miles per gallon around town, so it's more than efficient enough in that type of situation. So that's kind of the use case for it, and I really do think it's one of the best hybrids under $35,000. If Ford hadn't increased the prices on their Maverick by such a large amount, I'd kind of lean more towards that, because that is a cool vehicle. But the new Mavericks are just a little bit too expensive for what they offer. And the other thing that I would say is a big plus with Toyota is going to be the reliability, right? They've been doing these hybrids for over 2 decades. They know how to build them. They know how to build them reliably. And so if you don't want any fuss from your hybrid, then yeah, Toyota's gonna be the route to go until other manufacturers catch up in terms of reliability and tech and all of that. So let me know you guys think about the Corolla Cross Hybrid, but I think it's been great to live with, and I think those are the use cases for it. And there's obviously other use cases, but I really do think if you live in the big city, then it's a great runaround car, and it still has enough space you can do everything you need to do with it.